Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're over in WHF and we are in a friendly war against King Jeffrey. So it's been a while since I did any of my planning videos, my walking through planning and all that stuff. So base identification video today. We're going to be taking a look at the Zap Lalo. Been trying to get this video out for a couple weeks now, and finally got some time to make some videos and the availability to get them out there. So going to be taking a look at two bases that I hit in this war. Both of them fresh, both of them triples. I'm pretty sure the second one was just a mistake of choosing the right base, but we'll take a look at that. It's still a good representation. Before we get into the base breakdowns, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, clansmates. The more people we get to share these videos to, the more information I can put out, more people I can help, and the more we grow. All right, so base number one, we're going to be hitting Sakura here, and I'm going to go over exactly what I see as far as the zaps. Then we're going to go over the Sui value, and then we're going to go over the Lalo portion of the attack, because this is really broken down into three separate phases of the attack, which is why it's very prone to time failing. Most attacks are two phases, which allow you to kind of keep up. But with these three-phase attacks, it can be quite difficult in order to make it to not be a time fail. And this was very close to being a time fail. So what did I see as far as zap value? All right, well, obviously right here in the middle, the best thing to zap is going to be the eagle and the clan castle. For some reason, some people haven't gone to changing this, but you can see where the queen's standing right there. That also adds to the value of the zap, because with 7 lightning spells you can zap the queen no problem. She'll go down, and it's pretty much like getting a hero kill, CC kill, and an eagle kill for 8 spell space, which is fine. You're gonna see it sounds expensive, but it's not. Also, added bonus here, we're going to be grabbing this this expo. It's on air, so since we're doing a Lalo, it does add value. As you can see, these 2 expos here are on ground, so not a big deal if we don't grab those, but they are going to play a factor. I was planning on getting those down with my Sui, and we're going to see that that didn't happen, and we're going to kind of show that the power of this attack is not in the actual zap portion. The power of the attack is in what the zap opens up as far as suing for your heroes. Okay, so that's the idea for the zap. Pretty straightforward. Pretty much going to be clearing out everything in the middle compartment. So that's what we look like right now. All right, so where do we look on the healers, or on the heroes, not healers? I'm used to doing queen charges. All right, so middle's gone. Now let's look at hero value. All right, so what I wanted to do is I wanted my heroes to dive in here for the town hall, and I knew that it would be kind of difficult in order to, like, if this all went down but this outer ring didn't go down, that wouldn't be ideal. Same theory applies to this going down, and then none of these buildings here going down, especially like the RC, because the RC on a Lalo is going to play an important role, right? So not only did I want the town hall to go down here, but I wanted to kind of get the whole thing down, all the way through these expos, everything in here, right? So kind of like a trident effect. I wanted one prong to get this way, one prong to get this way, and one prong to go forward. So the way I'm going to end up doing that is I'm going to start my king here, and he's going to run this way, right? And he's going to run head on into 2 ground expos, a scatter shot, and an enemy royal champ. So he's going to die in here. I'm not going to expect anything amazing out of him. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop an ice golem here, because the ice golem there will be tanking all of these point defenses from that singular spot. And then I'm going to drop in my royal champ from 9 o'clock on this cannon, and she's going to work down this way, right? My goal is to have her clear all of these buildings here, and then maybe even this air defense, which would be ideal. The sweeper is pointed this way, so it's not a huge deal because I don't plan on laloing from where I'm doing my Sui heroes from. However, this sweeper here is directly where I plan on laloing from, so we're going to get to that. Now my next plan for the my last hero is obviously the Archer Queen. So I'm going to put a baby dragon up here after the RC goes, starts taking these down. That way it breaks my funnel. King is going to obviously break the funnel here because he's pushing this way. I'm going to do a ice golem and a wall break here in between these two defenses, and my queen should step in and she should be able to knock all of these defenses out. All right. And if you look at the overall value of what that should net me, we'll just go ahead and mark all this out. And then hopefully this one building here for the RC. And then King's not getting a ton of value, but he does get the enemy RC. And then Queen picks up all of this, right? And then I've knocked out the entire core. So you can see now, just looking at the overall layout of the base, that there's not much left. And it's not really because of the Sui, it's not because of the zaps. It's what the zaps allowed me to do. So if I didn't get a chance to zap this CC, my Barbarian King would have pulled the CC here, right here next to the Royal Champ, which would have affected my Queen Sui. She wouldn't have got as much as she did. And then my RC might not have got as much as she did. And then if it was something like a double witch or some one of those kind of CCs, I would also have to deal with that, with the Lalo coming through this way, dealing with the late eagle, queen in the core, scatter shot right over the queen. So while it's not an impossible Lalo, it's definitely made easier with the fact that I don't have to deal with any of those. Okay, so that's the zap portion, that's the hero portion. Now let's talk about the loon pathing. Alright, so this is where the attack kind of starts to go a little bit sideways, because I was planning on these expos here to go down, and they did not go down because I ended up dropping my wall breaker a little bit too far to the bottom here, and it actually wall breaks like down here, so I don't get access to the expos with my queen. So I'm gonna have to send a couple loons in here to just kind of directly target those at the start. And when I say a couple, I mean like 6 or 7, I believe. So it's a good portion of my loons because I'm bringing 3 hounds. So my plan was to bring a hound here and a hound here. The reason I'm doing that is because one, this multi will lock on both hounds. So that's 2 beams of the 5. So that means only 3 of my loons will be tanked, or will be taking damage from the multi-inferno. The next reason is I wanted to make sure that I am fully distracting this wizard tower and this scatter shot. I don't want them touching my loons. So the loons are going to start coming in from the top, kind of like this, and then sending in a slammer here. The last hound is going to be kind of flying in from this 3 o'clock area, and a couple loons flying in from the back. And the Lalo is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty simple. It's not anything crazy. Had those expos gone down, it would have been a lot smoother of a ride. But it's not really super surgical here. The key part of the Zap Lalo is being very patient with your Lalo. This isn't a Sui Lalo. You only have, I think on this one I'm rocking 3 haste and 2 freeze. You only have 3 haste and 2 freeze and a Warden Tome. And people, myself included, tend to rush these things, especially the Lalo portion. And we don't really trust the power of the lava hounds and the power of the loons to get in there and kind of one shot. So that's the hardest part of this attack, is just getting used to being patient. So we're going to go ahead and look at the replay, and I'll just pause it when we need to kind of discuss what was going on. And so Queen just hops over here. You got to be patient. You don't want to start your attack before you can do the zap, but Queen kind of hopped in there pretty quick. So big zap value right there. Now, kind of just getting my bearing, starting King, and that you could see he's already taken an ass whooping. So I start my hero Sui very, very quickly. Get the baby dragon down, start for the Queen. King's tanking. I hit his ability early. RC should go down. And there's that wall break. Now you see if that wall break would have been a little bit higher, the queen would have definitely got much more value. And then a barbarian triggers the freaking town hall, which kind of sucks. Because I really wanted the RC to work down farther before I had to pop the ability. I think she would have got a lot more value. But what are you going to do about one barbarian triggering the town hall? But anyway, yeah, so queen would have definitely got those expos. But not the end of the world. So I got pretty much everything that I expected to get, except those expos. But now you can see I have pretty solid pathing through the base, minus these expos for my Lalo. So luckily these are both ground expos, so they don't actually do any damage. But you can see as the Lalo is coming in here, there's no air defense here, so this is the perfect spot for my Stone Slammer. Stone Slammer is just going to come in here with these loons coming from the top to support. And they're going to just, everything's going to ride down this way. My Stone Slammer's going to make it pretty much all the way through the base. And at this point, it's just a normal Lalo, just minus the spells. You know, starting from the top, getting a bunch of loons going towards that air defense. You can see everything's kind of tanked. I freeze both. That sweeper, like I said, is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. And I mean, it really is. Because those loons split off to go to the expo right there. And if the expos weren't down, they would have went to that sweeper, and I wouldn't have been dealing with this problem. So luckily I adjusted and dropped my last, or I dropped the slammer from up top just to give some extra tanking up there. But you can see I have a bunch of loons trailing in, but that sweeper, the expos not going down, not allowing me to target that sweeper, really ended up hurting. But again, I'm very patient on the spells. Still have a freeze in the bag. You made sure I used my tome, waited for my loons to get all the way where I needed them to get. And now, even though I'm out of loons, I still have a slammer with 5 loons and 1 dragon. Being very patient with that freeze. Gonna see where the loons split to. So loons go towards the Teslas. Now I knew the dragon could 1v1 this archer tower, so I used the freeze on the Tesla, and Tesla goes down. Like I said, this comes very close to a time fill. Had those expos gone down, that sweeper would not have caused me those problems, and it would have been much smoother. I wouldn't have had to make adjustments. I would have been able to use the slammer where I wanted it, and it just would have been a lot smoother of an attack. But can't argue with a 3-star. Sometimes those fresh hits, you know, kind of go south. Now this is the second base I was talking about, and this is the base that I was saying I think it was a mistake, because yeah, don't do this with base building. So let's go ahead and just start talking over the plan. The first part of the plan, obviously, I'm gonna use 5 sneaky goblins to take down the clan castle before the clan castle is pulled. Now in the past that wasn't a huge deal. I mean, it was a huge deal obviously, but now what that's going to open the door for me to do is I'm going to be able to zap quake this whole area here, and I can reliably get all 3 of these, the Inferno, the Scatter, the Eagle. I probably could have got the sweeper, but I just wasn't really thinking about it. I was only thinking about those 3 buildings. I'm getting an Inferno, a Scatter Shot, and an Eagle, and I don't have to worry about not getting the CC when I do the zap. So I knew that was going to be like insane value. So that's my zap plan. Now let's talk about the heroes. So obviously with the heroes, I want to get the enemy queen, I want to get the town hall, and I want to get as much value on top of that as possible. So we know that I'm taking down the clan castle, and it just leaves these 3 heroes, these 2 or these expos and all that good stuff there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up dropping, I believe, 2 ice golems here, and then I think 1 headhunter on each hero, and then the king and the queen as well. And what it's going to do is going to allow my king and my queen to pretty much get through this area without taking pretty much any damage. I think the king ends up clearing like this way. Queen's going to step up. She's going to take down the town hall and that expo, and then I'm going to sneak my royal champion during that time, and the royal champion is going to be getting a ton of value in here, right? So she's going to clear out. I mean, the scatter shot and everything's already done, but let's just go ahead and mark out what I planned on her getting. And the Royal Champ is really the key to the Zap Lalo. I mean, I was like expecting Teslas and stuff here, and there were Teslas there. But what the Royal Champ ends up doing is, especially when you can use the Champ, the Queen, the King all together, the Champ ends up getting all that stuff over the wall that your Queen originally could not get without a wall break. So you're getting the firepower of your King and your Queen with the reach of like your Queen extended. And then with her seeking shield ability, you know, I'm going to end up clearing, I think, everything here. Like this whole compartment up here. With just the heroes. And then you're going to see, obviously, that is a very straightforward and very simple Lalo. The reason why I chose that side is because I didn't think about zapping this sweeper. And it was like mid-attack. I was like, oh shit, I didn't zap the sweeper. I didn't want to Lalo this way because I didn't want to fight the sweeper. So I end up coming this way. It's a symmetrical base, so it's not a big deal. Everything's going to path this way. I'm going to bring a stone slammer here. And then I'm going to bring a lava hound here and sprinkle in some loons. That way the stone slammer kind of goes directly into the Royal Champ. I'm going to use 2 hounds here and a bunch of loons coming this way. Everything's going to kind of route into this core. There's a lot of trash in there, so the loon pathing isn't ideal. But since I clear out so much here, everything kind of stays going in this. Because you can see here, as the loons path into this base, pathing goes into here, goes into here. Everything kind of leads this way. And then you have a split opportunity here and split opportunity here. And then there's really nowhere for the loons to go forward here because I'm getting these down. So from the cannon, they're actually going to probably go back down to this direction. So that is why I use the stone slammer here, just to kind of reinforce as these loons are moving through this way. I break this and then get everyone back focused on this cannon. And they're going to come this way. And then I have another hound, a couple more loons coming here. And we're going to start working those loons into here. And everything should push through in these 2 channels together. That way, every time I use a freeze, every time I use a haste, when I use the Warden Tome, everything is getting the benefit of all those spells and the abilities. And this attack is going to go much smoother just because I actually got the value that I wanted to out of the heroes and out of the zaps combined. So not too much to really talk about. Just when you're planning this out, make sure you're looking at your Lalo pathing. As you've seen on the first one, I didn't anticipate the expos not going down, which ended up leaving that sweeper up for a lot longer than I wanted it to be. And then and in the beginning of the breakdown, I even said that that sweeper was pointing towards where my Lalo was coming from. So I knew that that was going to be a nuisance from the beginning. I was just planning on sneaking in a few loons from the backside, but that didn't really happen there. So really pay attention to where your Lalo's coming through, and you can avoid a lot of those missteps along the way. So here we go. Pretty much the same army, just adding all the extra stuff. So I'm doing the clan castle first so I don't forget about it. And then I'm doing the heroes. So that the headhunters are just insane. Here comes my RC. RC is going to start working from the bottom side. I want those Teslas down so the queen goes back towards the town hall. And this is what I mean. So I'm getting crazy hero value here. And then the RC is just going to really just like jump the value up tenfold. I mean, you can't really do much better than that, right? So here comes my Lalo. I am going to start with my loons coming in this way, and then I'm starting with a hound from this way. Now, there's going to be another hound coming in here, and there's going to be some loons coming in here. But the reason why I start here is because if I can get this mortar down, it stops anything from pathing back outside to the mortar. It pushes everything inside, okay? So, there we go. Now I have like a nice trident coming in. And you can see everything's going to start working its way into the middle. I use a freeze, get that wizard tower and that inferno frozen. And then here we'll go ahead and go half speed because I want to show you this. See how all these loons over here are pathing this way? And I wanted them all to force back on that cannon. So I used the slammer. Now these loons are going to get here and then they're going to go here in order to keep everything going this way. I have a ton of pups. I really like the 3 hounds. I didn't get to catch those bottom loons in the tone, but it's not a big deal. The slammer actually ends up not popping over the RC, which could have been a problem. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I used the haste. Obviously the sweeper is causing me some problems, but it's not going to cause enough problems to stop my slammer because as you can see, the slammer has full health. I have a ton of balloons left. Tornado trap, not a big deal. Ground expo on top. I mean, this was just kind of overkill. And again, I think this is more of a mistake from the base building or base selection. They probably just didn't select the right base. But people make mistakes, you make them pay for it. Who is this? Cassandra. I don't know if I know Cassandra. I know Sack. I don't know Cassandra. But yeah, that's pretty. The power in this attack is just outrageous. I'm gonna be bringing more different styles of it. There's a couple different types where you zap the Inferno and a scatter or something like that and do a queen charge with 1 rage and then use 1 heal on a hybrid. So I'm gonna be bringing those as they come. I've really been just working on the Lalo portion because this is a good opportunity to kind of catch up into a meta that is kind of just birthing itself, right? So base building is eventually going to catch up to the Lalo portion of it, but those that kind of take advantage and learn it well will be able to translate that into even when the base, the slight mistake on base building, you can make someone pay for it. So I'm going to keep working at it. I'll keep bringing you guys new stuff. Dang, Mendicus needs to get tripled, y'all. Oh, I don't want to burn his base. Never mind. Yeah, Mendicus needs to get tripled, guys. But yeah, that's it. I'm glad to be back doing some videos. Hoping to bring you guys some more quality content, like always. And hope you guys, get some enjoyment out of it. Again, I'm sorry for the delay. Work was just absolutely crazy, but finally home. And I'm adjusting to the time schedule swap because I was a 9-hour difference from where I am now. And I keep waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Get ready for videos coming every day. And I'll be streaming more and more to come once I start figuring out all the stream stuff. So you guys stay locked and loaded for that. And like always, thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And a big shout out to my beautiful wife for helping me get everything together. And she's going to be helping me put these videos together in person now that we can be together. So, all right, guys, take it easy.